All right, what's good, ladies and gentlemen? It's Calvin Mercy, and I'm sitting here with the one and only Siam Shungo.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And we're here to present you a new show, which is called Dial and Discover.
That's right.
Short D&D, which means when you tuned into this one, you want no disturbance.
Silent.
And essentially, the whole concept of the show just comes from our background and where we come from and where we actually are. I just want to know, how did you get here?
How much time you got?
Yeah, I got a little bit. Give us a little bit. Give us a little bit.
So long and short of it, I'm an entrepreneur, I run a marketing agency, but the background really derives from church, funny enough. So I grew up in church. I used to do a lot of visuals in the church, a lot of youth stuff, speaking to the kids, trying to connect youth camps. I was very fortunate in 2015 to get my first passport and visa and leave the country and be exposed to the world, and really understand how people are living outside there. I was able to bring that home, start a few youth groups. Found myself in a company called U Party, which is the biggest under 18 events company in South Africa.
I've been to one of those.
Right. So we did a lot of high school events, and then we realized that we have a very big network across the youth. So we developed an entity called Universe, which was deemed and coined the biggest youth promoter network in South Africa. So we took the impact on digital and social, and we were able to use that to market events, artists, products and brands, and so on and so forth. Fortunately, 2015, our first project was Fill Up the Dome. That was a God thing, you know what I mean?
That's
so we went on to do Fill Up the Dome, the promotions and marketing, put Casper in 10 high schools across Johannesburg, sold at least about 2,000 tickets in the space of 3-4 weeks, And then we came at the end of it and said, this is a real business model. So we went on to do Orlando and FMB, 75,000 people, and then found ourselves with different artists and players in the game. Fast forward to 2019, 2020, COVID-19 hits, and the event elements of stuff kind of subsides, Brands pull back their budgets, so we had to go back to the drawing board and figure out how we're going to still use this impact and experience that we have to still empower people, but on a digital platform. That's when Sweet Digital was born, which is our baby right now, which is basically a youth promoter network, but more so it's a social media agency that has a really great, robust understanding of culture and creative because of our experience that we now use to put brands on, clients on, and so on and so forth. So sitting here right now in 2023, it's just been 3 years into that and really delving down into how we can impact the youth, put some money in the youth pockets, keep people off the streets, but also help the brands connect to their audience and the audience to connect with brands.
That's solid. Makes a whole lot of sense. I got that.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. I think our starts are similar.
Right.
I was selling sweets at the tuck shop. That's how I started.
Right. I've bought those before.
Now, we pretty much, I went from also doing visuals, actually. My easiest trade that I got into, I started with the easiest thing that I could do, which was photography and videography.
Right.
And I essentially went from there, and that was the service that I gave out. And the main thing that I wanted to do was build the client base and the resume before going into building a whole entity that was providing multiple services.
Right.
And so I started with that, and that led me to doing work and visual direction for guys like the Summer Awards, Comrades Marathon, a whole Japanese company that had me do a whole documentary type of thing, And then from there, we basically took that and established what is now called Silver Mercy, which is a creative agency. And that started servicing now a bigger part of what we were doing with the brands, which was not just visual,
right?
Which was now the whole entire 100%. Spectrum of, okay, what do you guys do with the product and how do you get it to the individuals, which is now distribution on platforms, etc. And as we started that, we then very quickly got into artist management because we then built up a product called Robot Boy.
Okay.
Which quite a few people know, and now that became a base of how we then started moving and giving creative direction and consultation in the entertainment industry.
Ooh, what a brand.
So essentially that's the long and short of it, I guess.
Yeah, it's actually very similar and kind of very coincident. So why are we sitting at this table together? Are you going to tell the people?
We're sitting here because I think the purpose of it all is that in our journey, we've encountered a lot of individuals that have asked us how can they or why this or why that is happening.
Right.
And I think because we've given those conversations in small bits, it was like, how do we kind of increase that platform to give the information so that we can help out a lot more people? And that's where the upcoming, established, etc., because we have conversations throughout the industry from grassroots to the top.
Yeah.
Because at some stage, someone's trying to get from point A to B.
100%.
And that A and B looks different to everybody.
It's relative.
And
Yes,
so
it is.
this is why this show exists. And essentially how Dial and Discover, works is that it allows you guys to
Dial and discover. So the content is very, very simple. We're going to be opening up, the platform for people to put their questions out, and it's going to run off of a form that we're going to inform them about the mechanics a little bit later on. But we basically going to take some numbers of people who have questions and be dialing them every single week and asking them, what are you trying to learn? What are you trying to discover? You know what I'm trying to say? And hopefully, because of the experience that we have over the past couple of years, we can be able to answer some of those questions.
Yeah.
And because of the relationships we have, what questions we can't answer, we can always call a friend and they can kind of offer that insight and insight. So I think that's where the name derives from. We're trying to dial people out and then help them discover the answers to some of their questions.
100%. So essentially, how you can leave your number and to have your question ready. Then leave us your number by clicking on the link in our bio, link in the description, or just following the website that's on the screen right now. And then hit us up, drop us your number, and maybe, who knows, you'll be called on the show. You'll be dialed, and so that you can discover. All right, let's dial and discover. D&D, let's get it.
Danko.